I got raided. So they got all my sulfur, they got all my gunpowder, all my mats and guns, components. Luckily I played smart and I did have an M249 stashed away in a separate location with a small box of explosive ammo. So if you don't want to see this first part of the video, then go ahead and skip. I'm gonna have a raid for you guys afterwards. But anyways, I've gotten comments and messages asking about how I build my base and how I stay safe every wipe. So I'm gonna give you guys a timeline of base builds and how they've progressed through the years. This is 4 to 5 years of playing of base builds, getting better and better at building, better and better at hiding, and predicting what players will do to get to your loot. So again, if you don't care, if you don't want to see this, go ahead and skip. So one of the most common blueprints for bases to use is a circle base. This is what we used to do. This is the first base design that we ever used. I say we because this is way back when I was doing CM Gaming channel too. But when we were at Duo, we'd start with this. This is a very common blueprint. So just like triangles, square, triangle. Pretty simple. So we'd extend this out, obviously have some honeycomb, just put triangles on the square, squares on the triangles, alternate. We might add 1 or 2 more layers of honeycomb depending on how many mats we have that wipe. So this first floor, first 2 or 3 floors would be completely honeycombed off. So the TC would be down here on this first design, like so. And then this center core would most likely be armored, maybe the first layer around it as well. And then extend this 3, 4, 5, 6, however mats we had up, but probably mostly sheet metal. Okay, so this was a completely solid cylinder full of honeycomb. And then we would throw the loot rooms in these squares all the way on the top. Keep in mind, this was before ladders were even in the game, so to get on top of this thing, you would have to build a raid tower of some sort. It used to be impossible to raid tower onto this thing because of how skinny it was. Like, if you would have made it wider, they could have built up over the TC priv. But this was not able to be raid towered onto. And like I said, this was way back in the day, before ladders were even in the game. You had to raid tower if you wanted to get on top of somebody's base. So the loot being up here was really the safest we could do. I'll show you the finished design. Alright, so the loot room was right here, then we might throw another honeycomb on top just for safekeeping. And that was basically it. So to get into this type of base, we weren't too smart. We didn't seal it off. We'd have a door path straight there, but we'd have a little bridge tower like this so we could shoot out this twig and it'd be a little harder for raiders to come through the door. Keep in mind, this was also before you could put twig in building blocked areas, twig ceilings, so that wasn't an issue either. And that was the first go-to design, the first iteration that we had come up with. Not the smartest base design. It became way too juicy looking like this, and huge clans with hundreds of rockets would just completely wipe our foundations and the loot would fall from the sky. So we got a little bit smarter and we wanted something to build that didn't take so long to set up. So here was our second design, a straight up 4x4 cube. So we had gotten a little bit smarter. We would only upgrade these inner foundations armored. And then these outer foundations would be sheet metal just so that it looks like you're not completely stacked with stuff, but it's a little bit difficult to wipe with these armored. So just like the other one, it would be honeycombed completely with the core being armored. But this is now moving on to the era of where the TC covers your entire base. We used to have to stack TC first, third, fifth, seventh, ninth floor all the way to the top. Once the TC was able to cover below it, it got a lot easier to build. So we would start with this, basically move this up 4 or 5 floors of the same exact honeycomb layout. So we'd gotten a bit smarter. There was no straight up door path to the loot. We sealed everything off. It was tough to know how to raid this type of base We would put the TC on a separate floor each wipe just so that raiders wouldn't get familiar with the layout. But basically we would just have a little tiny corner to live in. This 2x1 is all we would live in. We'd set up 4 boxes, a TC here, and a workbench. And we'd be playing from a 2x1 the entire wipe. So this made it pretty confusing and difficult to raid, because if you see this, you'd want to drill straight down in the center. But in reality, the loot's all the way over here in the corner, 1 wall away from the outside world. And the rest of it's all honeycomb. So they'll see this armored walls, they'll start blowing this out. But they didn't usually find the loot room, which is all the way on the corner. We might come online and the entire core would be hollowed out, except for the edges, and they didn't get our loot. We would just fix it all back up and keep on playing. But then came the hackers, ESPers. They would see boxes and blow straight into here, and then we'd be out of all of our loot off of 4C4. Well, it used to be 2C4. You might say because of the stability here that they saw it was that room, but we would make sure to close that off with a doorway or a wall so that there was no difference in stability. So then we had to get a little bit more tricky. We would build this type of design, but put loot rooms spread out in each corner and in the center and random spots throughout the base so that ESPers would not know where the heck to blow. But it worked for a while. For the ESP situation, we even tried taking a boat way out here in the open ocean, dropping down about 10 foundations under this water and falling asleep, because you won't die. You can go out here, go all the way under the water, fall asleep, log off. You can come back in and you'll be fine. Just come up to the top really quick and you won't drown. But the first time we did that, we woke up, all of the stuff had been taken off of us and our bodies were left there and not killed or anything. So it was obvious that there was an ESP hacker after us. Until the cave update, which changed everything. I mean, caves changed. Caves became the new meta for building a very safe and secure base. You've seen the caves I've raided in the past. Basically, just completely honeycombed up into the edge of the cave where the loot is. 7 to 8 walls for a normal cave, which you can make that all armored, and it costs about 30 to 40 C4. Or if you have a triple cave, it can cost up to like 120 C4 to find the loot. So I'm not going to tell you the current latest design that I've been using, but I can tell you I haven't been raided in probably 100 wipes, maybe 50 wipes, except now. So it's still a pretty viable base design. I'm still debating whether a hacker got to my loot or not. But even though he got all my sulfur gunpowder and everything, I made sure to have an M2 stashed away somewhere else with a tiny bit of emergency ammo so I can get a raid in. You guys can try to guess what my current base design is, and maybe even the dude that raided me will come in here and tell you in the comments. But I can tell you it's very secure, and maybe one day, maybe I'll reveal it. So I think I found a bunker here I could do. Maybe. It looks kind of tough. 76 here though. 74. Oh my gosh, is it going to be this easy? I think the loot could be in this corner. Alright, I was definitely expecting it to be half floor armored. So we'll continue on. I think the loot could be in this corner. I'm not gonna lie. Come on, we need TC. What is this? I see a light. Getting comfort, so it's gotta be right below me. This is first floor, ceiling, 87%. I have enough ammo. Gonna have to go repair these silencers though. And my M2. Whoa. What the heck is green? That's so weird. What is that? Alright, looks like maybe a workbench 3 there? Boxes? Oh, that's sick, it's a cauldron! What the heck, though? Enjoy the charcoal, my slave. Oh, no! Oh, that really sucks. Maybe we can get some stuff on this last wall. But that was like everything I had. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hate this guy so much. Well, that's gonna be the end of me for the wipe. RIP. I mean, I've got a little bit left, but that's really not enough to do a big base or anything. Luckily, it's gonna wipe soon. I'll be back with some more raids later.